Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fear Itself Reviews. Let's see, what the fuck episode are we on? Fuck, you know what? It's been so long since I've done one of these that I don't even fucking remember. Let's see here. Episode 5. That's right. I'm a dumbass. Okay. On to the next thing. So. Cruising on right through the CreepyPastaJr. I just so happened to stumble upon, of course, the one story that I would just love to rip the fuck into. One that, well, more or less gave me my channel today. You know, kinda started my channel and my interest in creepypasta. And if any of you know what that story is, boy, do you know what we've got on the list today. Because today, I wanted to do something for some comedy relief. Because I just got done recording 14 scary Halloween stories. Well, no, 13 scary and one kind of dark comedy for Halloween, for my countdown. And I want to get something out before I leave for vacation, and that's gonna be tomorrow whenever I start packing. So I have to get something out before I leave every time, or else I feel like I'm leaving y'all with nothing. So these are always kind of fun for me to do every now and then, to kind of break the monotony of story after story after story, and then like nothing from me. So I kind of like doing multiple things here now and then. And I like to review stuff. I really like to review stuff. So, you know, it's kind of a thing I like. I like to watch like a lot of nostalgia critics, cinema snob, you know, people like that. It's funny to me to hear them just rip into shit, because a lot of the times I completely agree with what they have to say, and that's exactly how I stumbled upon people like that. I looked up, I just was like, hey, I want to see if these people think that this movie is as shitty as I do. And then that's how I found them. So, on to the subject of the actual video, and not me just rambling like a goddamn idiot like I always do. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you all, because if you don't know, then oh boy, we got a fun day for you. It's gonna be Jeff the fucking Killer! Yay! Happy day, happy day! Hey, please kill me now. Oh my gosh, did y'all hear that ghost come in and just ask himself, I don't know, he's asking somebody to kill him, you know? I hear that a lot, you know, the voices. Anyways, we got some fun today, so without further ado, let's review one of the most infamous creepypastas in all of creepypasta history. The one, the only, Jeff the Killer. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After a little evidence, has been found, Jeff Goldblum, Alright. I can't be serious. You know, I respect Mr. Creepypasta so much, because I just don't know how anybody could be serious while reading this. Unless you're like a 12-year-old kid. Kinda like I was at the time. I was 13, but so what? 13, 12, whatever. A young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. I had a bad... Okay, for real. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night It doesn't say how young, it just says a young boy, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Okay, maybe he's a little older if he's saying once more. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed, because there was Shrek. There, in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains. This is a kid talking? Or a pair of two eyes. Wait. A pair. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's see, what? You could have just said a pair of eyes. You didn't have to say a pair of two eyes. A pair is two. It's generally, a pair is two. You didn't need to put that there, but you did it any fucking way. Okay. I'm getting a little angry, but I don't like stupid. I really don't. I like to make fun of stupid, but stupid is still stupid. Okay. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth. A long, horrendous smile that had every hair on my body stand up. My shitty British accent cutting out into the mic. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak. Alright, now, I have to stop here for a second because if any of you are a fan of bad creepypasta or anything, I'm about to make a reference here that you're all gonna probably, maybe like, hopefully. Alright. He said, "Go to keep." He said, "Go to sleep." Okay, I have to point out how this is like paragraphed here, and I'm sure you'll see what I'm talking about. But he puts a quote that starts, but he never ended his last quote. And then he starts another quote, and then a quote within a quote, and ends that quote, but doesn't end the other quote. Can someone shoot me now? We're not even 2 paragraphs in. Can you fucking with me, right? You're fucking with me here. I knew this was gonna be awful. I knew this was gonna be fucking awful, but I don't know if I was ready for this. I don't know if anybody's ready for this. I let out a scream, and that's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife. Okay. Aiming at my heart, he jumped on top of my bed. Wait, okay, hold on a second. So, he's not on top of you, yet he's aiming at your heart? Yeah, okay, whatever. That's probably the least this fucking story has to offer. That's gonna, if we pick stuff like that, we're gonna be here all fucking night. Alright. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off of me. If you don't know what I'm kind of trying to do with this voice, it's kind of the generic British voice that I've heard a lot of. It's a lot of top 10 lists. And I'm not talking about people like Lazy Masquerade. That one, I really actually do like him. I enjoy his content. But certain others. I don't remember them by name, but there's just so many of them that are just they sound and this isn't weird for me to say because I'm sure others can agree with me, but a lot of them are I mean I wouldn't be surprised if they're the same people because they sound almost identical to each other and they all have the same inflections and they all have the same way that they talk and the same music in their backgrounds, and it's all kind of the same format for their videos too. So I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about. I personally really don't like trend channels or top 10 channels. There's very few of them that I can enjoy, and it's only because they usually produce other content that I enjoy. That's not just top 10s. Like they actually go into research on stuff and learn stuff that's different, like Tats Tops and Blame It on Jorge or Blame It on George, Blame It on Jorge, whatever. But I like those, like people like that. Those are really good ones. But there's just so many of them, and some of them are just so shit, and it's just terrible. So that's kind of what I'm going for. If you didn't know with that voice. So just kind of roll with me here. I know it's awful. I know it's just horrendous. And that's the point. It's supposed to be. Alright, so everybody just shut the fuck up now. Okay. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbours hadn't alerted the police. How did the neighbour hear you? Oh, you let out a scream. Okay. Really don't think... I really don't think that the police are gonna get there that quick. That doesn't... No. That is absolutely not how it goes. Even in an emergency situation, it can take them minutes to get there. And, from what it sounds like, he was just now on top of him. Seriously? You fucking kidding me? Again, he does not end his quote at the end of this paragraph. He just starts another one. You can't do that, you stupid motherfucker. Author unknown? God damn it. I can't even fucking go after the guy because he's so fucking... There's probably so many people that have uploaded this story now that nobody knows who originally did it. And if they did, he's long gone, I'm sure. Not the original one. I'm talking about this shitty version of it that was written off of the original one's concept. So, let's keep going, I guess. We're still not even into the fucking story. This is terrible. Alright. Where the fuck were we? They drove into the parking lot. They drove into the parking lot. Why do you have a parking lot in your fucking driveway? Can I break? Can I just have one break? Alright. And ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash like glass breaking. As I came out of my... How do you like glass breaking? As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out it to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. Police are still on the lookout for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in this story. In this story. If this is a news report, author, this is a testament, a witness testament. This is not a story, it is a testament. A statement. Whether it's fact or not, it's a statement. You don't call it a story within the story. It's not clever. It's stupid. Please contact your local police department. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. I hope you like that. It's kind of like the start of a sitcom, right? Like, Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood, but he's about to find out that being new in the school isn't very cool. Rob Schneider is Jeff the Killer. Rated PG-13. I can't. Now that is a movie I would go to see. I don't know who needs to make that happen, but somebody please make that happen. And Adam Sandler can play Lou. Kevin James can be the cop. Oh god. Oh fuck. I get a crossover with Paul Blart. Oh, fuck, man. I'm having too much fun with this already. I haven't even gotten into the second sentence. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought that it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. What is those fancy neighborhoods? Oh. You got some of the fancy neighbors? Do you have Jake and Logan Paul right next door? Hashtag London is my city. Oh wait, no, it's England is my city. Oh, fuck. That's right. It's England is my city. If you're asking me if I just made a Jake and Logan Paul reference, of course I did. Because fuck them both. Okay. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain though. A new, better house? What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. Hello, she said. I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son. That's it? Not, hi. Hi, I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, that's it. Bye. She turns around and calls her son over. Billy! Alright, actually, I'm gonna do a different reference now that I remember his name is Billy, okay? And if any of you can get it in the comments, bravo, you have made me proud. You no longer need me. Alright. Billy, these are our new neighbors. Billy said hi, and ran back to play in his yard. Well, said Jeff's mom, I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my two sons, Jeff and Lou. They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, were done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. Hey mom, why is the writer of this story such a goddamn dumbass? I don't know, son. Maybe because he doesn't have any synapses left in his brain. Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid. Oh no, definitely not. You're definitely one of those smart kids. Actually, you know, I think they have a special word for you, and it's just that. One of those special snowflakes, if you know what I mean. I don't know what just happened, and don't ask me what just happened, because I won't remember what just happened after this video. I just will wipe it from my brain like it never happened. You know, that's what the brain does whenever it's faced with extreme trauma. I am in control of my brain. You know nothing. Are they gone? Okay, good. I just realized I'm all alone in my house and I'm just screaming. And, Jesus Christ. What am I doing with my life? I ask myself that every day as a single tear rolls down my cheek. Jeff, said his mother, we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now, we're going to that party, and that's final. Hey, he actually ended the quotes. Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there, looking at his ceiling, when suddenly, he got a weird feeling. It was called puberty. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. So, you're unpacking in your new house, but your bed and everything else is already there, but yet you did not stay downstairs to get your stuff to bring up to your room for you to then plop down onto your bed. No sir, Jeff, Goldblum, you were a retard. And you went upstairs first. And then you came back down to get your stuff. Is this just padding? Is this just to make me have to sit through this shit for longer? Cause, fuck timestamp are we at? I'm getting concerned that, oh my god. Yeah, we better get the fuck through this because this is gonna be terrible if I sit here all day. Especially having to do this voice over and over again. I don't have to, but I'm going to. Alright. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Lou finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell? The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. The apparel of the douchebag, I see. Well, it looks like we got some new meat. Okay, hold on a second. Is this what I am seeing right? Yeah, I'm not stupid. Notice where it says well. He puts the commas in between the well. But then he starts a new sentence with it. Well is not a sentence. Did you, sir, go to school? Did you attend any language class in your life? Because I don't think you did. Suddenly, two other kids appeared. Wait, what? Wait, what? Two other kids just appeared? Suddenly, two other kids appeared. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Where the fuck did they come from? One was super skinny, and the other was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to... I'd like to introduce ourselves. Now that's a full sentence. But yet they use the comma there to continue. Over there is Keith. Why? Jeff and Lou looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Randy Marsh. Oh my god, that would be a funny twist if Randy in the story just turned out to be Randy Marsh from South Park the whole time. Now for all the kids in this neighborhood, there's a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. Lou stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes, when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Tisk, 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 I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way. Again, if you're a fan of bad creepypasta, if you're a fan of anybody that's ever covered this story, you know full well that the prospect of these like 12-year-old kids carrying around these dangerous weapons, and again, they're going to use it later in the story even worse, and we all know what's coming, but I have to point it out how fucking stupid it is. I didn't even get my first knife until I was 13, and it was given to me by my grandpa. So, I mean, it's really not realistic I've never seen a kid been given a knife that early on, unless his parents were just, extremely irresponsible. Because kids shouldn't really have knives and stuff at that age. There's no need for them to have them. They shouldn't have them until they're responsible enough to know what they are and how dangerous they are. And this story clearly does not understand that, or else it wouldn't be putting shit like this in it. So, the kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. So he just stands there. It doesn't say he holds the knife up to his neck or anything. It just says he pulls the knife on him. So, like, how far away are you? And it doesn't say which one pulls the knife either. Like, they've just introduced both of the characters. Why would they not just say who has the knife? Because then I would be able to distinguish if that's the person that's taking the wallet. It just says the kid. So, for all I know, the person holding the knife is the fat ass over here, and he's like 2 feet away, and then the person that's taking the wallet is the skinny kid, and he's like an inch away. So, again, this doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna stop with the voice for a little bit, because I just can't. I need to get through this. Alright. Now, it was truly strong. Oh, sorry. Jeff got that feeling again. Now, it was truly strong. A burning sensation. He stood up, but Lou gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet in his... Okay, there we go. So it's Randy. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. See? See, they just fucking pointed out what I just said. It wasn't even Randy that had the knife out. What the fuck? Oh? And what will you do? Something about that line just sounds funny. Oh? And what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Okay, so you want me to believe that Jeff just, superhuman strength, just grabbed that wrist and just cracked it right there. Alright. That's how anatomy works, people. Okay. Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and... Oh, God. Fuck, I'm starting to repeat myself. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. Gotta go fast! He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach, and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over because this story has to have some kind of it has to have violent imagery. Lou could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. Alright, I want to point something out right here. You're amazed that your brother just brutally attacked 3 teenagers and probably even almost fatally. Are you the psychopath? I mean, Jeff's enjoying it, but I mean, you're amazed by that. Like, are you gonna turn into Lou the killer? We already got every other fucking the killer in the book. We might as fucking well, right? Alright. Jeff, how did you... That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing, so they started running as fast as they could. Guys, the bus can see you if you can see the bus. They're gonna know it was you, regardless. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. Of course, as Jeff and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened, because why would they? That would just make things too easy. All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just... meme. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school, even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop. And how now, brown cow? He probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore. He felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Next morning, he heard a knock on his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. Okay, I need to find the right voice to do for the mom now, so... Jeff? These officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids. That it wasn't regular fighting and that they were stabbed? Stab, son! How's that? How's that for a bitch? Cause she's portrayed as a bitch in the story, so. Oh God. Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Lou. Son, said one of the cops. Oh wait, no, okay. I'm gonna try and do a Bar Brady voice. Son, said one of the cops, we found 3 kids. 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now what does that tell us? Jeff knew that it was no use. He could say him and Lou had been attacked, but then there was no proof of but then there was no proof that it was not them who attacked first. Why you don't fucking run? They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing because, truth be told, they were, because they're fucking retards. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. Son, calm down your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up those kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cop looked at his partner and they both nodded. Well, kid, looks like a year on juvie. Wait, says Lou. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and shoot them, and then there was a massive scandal in the social media because the cops shot an innocent white guy. Again, I have no ill will, but in light of the shit with the NFL and our dumbass president, and he is a dumbass, he's a grade A asshole. Yeah, he needs to go. Yeah, this is where I stand with that joke. Obviously, I kind of say where I stand with that. But seriously, if this was like realistic, if this story were realistic right now, that kid would be shot. In today's world, he probably would be shot. Regardless of his race, he's got a knife, boom. Because, you know, that just happened, actually. It just happened to somebody, to a white person. And he had a knife and walking towards an officer, and officer shoots him, so, you know? I mean, they got tasers, and they've got non-lethal stuff, so they don't need to shoot to kill, and they do. They shoot to kill, so, enough on that. I don't really want to get into that on this video. Alright. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Lou. It was me! I beat up those little punks! Have the marks to prove it! Oh no. Oh no. Did you cut yourself? He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he were in a struggle. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. No, Lou, it was me! I did it! Jeff had tears running down his face because he was a pussy. Huh, poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. Oh, did we say juvie? We meant you're going to jail. What? Yeah, you're never gonna see your family again. This was attempted murder. The police led Lou out to the patrol car. Lou, tell them it was me! Tell them! I was the one who beat up those kids! Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please. You don't have to lie. We know it's Lou. You can stop. Jeff, it's okay. We know your brother is a psychopath. You can stop. We know you're clearly not the crazy one. This bitch deserves everything that she gets in this story and far more. Especially in the reboot. She deserves it even more in the reboot. Alright. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Lou inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Lou when it was his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Lou at JDC. With no word. Are you supposed to get word from them? No friends to hang out with. Nothing but sadness and guilt. Everything is darkness and my heart is black. That is until Saturday when Jeff went emo. When Jeff is woke up by his mother. This story has already fucking happened! Put it in the past tense! Stop traveling from the past to the present to the future. Stop it! Stop it! I'm falling into the void. Going deeper, deeper. I must find. I can't do it anymore. It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm too OCD for this shit. I'm too... Need a little bit of a break. This is a fucking 42-minute recording and we're not even to the beginning. We're not even to the conflict. If I don't make it to the end of Jeff the Killer, let it be known that I love you all. So anyways, we were doing something when Jeff is woke up by his mother in the present with a happy, sunshiny face. Jeff, it's the day! She said as she opened up the curtains and let light flood into his room. What's today? Asked Jeff as he stirs awake. Okay, I know Jeff's voice that I'm gonna do now. He's gonna be the emo kid. Death and despair. Why, it's Billy's party! He was now fully awake. Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after my heart got turned into blackness. After I lost the love of my life. My forbidden love. What's sad is there's probably Jeff and Lou fanfiction, and that's just terrifying to think about. Alright. Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Yeah, totally. Going to some random kid's party that's younger than you, knows nothing about you. You just had your brother arrested for something you did. Yeah, that's definitely gonna help him. He doesn't need any psychological help, you know. He doesn't need any therapy. He doesn't need any doctors or any medication. No, he doesn't need any of that. He doesn't need any of that. You know, he's just take just take 2 Casey Neistat and well, after that you're probably not going to be able to say much. What was I saying? Just take about 2 doses of Pyrocynical and sponsorship and YouTube revenue, and then PewDiePie, Leafy, and you'll be right as rain. Shit. This is like the embodiment of like the worst that this community has. Like, I know this is the story that spawned all the shitty others. So, you know, this is the one to blame for it. Alright. Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get herself ready. He fought himself to get up. He fought himself. Well, did he win? Did he lose? What happened? I mean, can't just say stuff like that. Alright. He picked out a random shirt and pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? Son, is that all you're going to wear? Said Jeff's mom, sounding more pretentious than the goddamn Richie Rich family. Huh? Better than wearing too much, he said. This outfit expresses my dark feelings and the darkness in my soul. Per se. He said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hid it with a smile. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression. No. Fuck. I don't even know what that was. I just messed that up. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression. There we go, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room. I don't have any fancy clothes! If any of you know who Dylan Francis is, I can see Preston doing something like this. Anyway. Just pick out something! Called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he could call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had had for several occasions, and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on, because that goes with dress pants. What? You're wearing that? They both said. His mother looked at her watch. You look like a goddamn troll. You're such a disappointment. You're so ugly and disgusting. How dare you wear those clothes in my presence, you sick little bastard. We only wear Versace in this house! I hope you all enjoy this, because I'm pretty sure after this I will have nothing left. I just have nothing left. I have nothing left. Alright. This is going on way too long. I'm sorry, everybody, but bear with me. We're almost done. Oh, now time to change. Let's just go, she said as she herded Jeff and his father out of the door because they're sheep. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door, and it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. Why are they dressed nice? Why are any of them dressed nice? They all walked inside it. They walked inside, all Jeff could see, as they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them? Said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in Toys R Us. Sponsorship? Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and said, "Hey, wanna play?" he said. No kid, I'm way too old for this stuff." The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. "Please," said the kid. "Fine," said Jeff. He put on the hat. He put on the hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he actually started to have fun. This is very suggestive imagery right here, and I'm probably gonna get restricted for this video just because of the content in it and the name of it, and it's just awful. And it probably should never be seen by anybody. So, you know, good on me for that. Alright. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time that he had done something that took his mind off of Lou. So he played with the kids for a while, until he heard a noise. A weird rolling noise. And then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna have to come up with a name for Randy here. I think I got it. Hello. Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you get my brother sent to Jenny Sam. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no, Gardner. I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today, mate. As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled out guns out of their pockets. Hallelujah! We have reached the epitome of dumb, the stupidest moment in any creepypasta story ever! How do you guys feel being a part of this beautiful, beautiful moment? Breathe it in. Breathe in that toxicity. Just all that terrible, terrible, terrible writing. Ah, it's so delicious. Alright. Let's get it on. Let the fun begin. No one interrupts her guts will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. Jesus Christ, how strong are these kids? As Jeff tries to stand, he's kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Come on, Jeff! Fight me! Does anybody remember when Russell Crowe was fighting around the world? That's what this guy is reminding me of now. He's like, come on, Jeff, fight me! He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the corner and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff, look at me! Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just gonna sit there and let him rot in there for a whole year? You should be ashamed! Jeff starts to get up. Oh, finally! You stand and fight! Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling. Maybe it was the feeling of vodka being poured into his cuts. That strange, burning feeling that you get when vodka is poured into your cuts. Ponder that for a moment, and then I want you all to wince in pain when you do. You're welcome. Alright. Gets that strange feeling. Fuck. The one in which he hasn't felt for a while. Really? I think he felt it literally just like a couple days ago, right? This has only been like a couple days. Finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. And that's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. Carrie remake, anybody? Not the new one. Not the one that was in cinemas. I'm talking about the other one. Yes, there is another one. And in that one, she stops her mom's heart rather than, you know, the knife thing that Carrie does at the end of the movie. Alright. I guess this is just how anatomy works now, you know, anatomy. Human beings are such frail, you know, they're kind of like paperweights. If you hurt them hard enough, they just kind of just crumble and break. They're not like solid beings full of bones that are hard to break and cause you know, massive force to break sometimes. Yeah, that doesn't happen. And these kids, you know, they definitely have the power to do the damage that is being dealt in this story at the age that they are. Because, you know, puberty has definitely hit these guys like a goddamn freight train. Is everybody in this fucking story like 6'5" and on steroids when they're 12? Because none of this makes any sense otherwise. Hold on a second. The next sentence. Oh my. Ugh. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. Next sentence. As Randy gasps for breath. Bitch, if your heart is stopped, you are not breathing anymore. Do you know how fucking retarded this is, everybody? I know you do. I know. This isn't for views. This is far too tempting for me. So, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body, until he takes one final breath and dies. Because he was alive for several minutes after his heart was stopped. Congratulations, sir. You are a superhuman. You have won the prize. Congratulations, sir. Kill yourself. Kill me. Somebody do something. I can't do it. I can't do it. Nothing happens. We're all fine. Just need a dash of whimsy and we'll be on our way. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith. Although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff. Jeff sees the guns. Sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach. A thing of bleach. A thing of bleach. Okay. Fell down on top of him from the top shelf. Okay, now, at this point, assuming that, it's, like, pouring into his, like, eyes and, nose and mouth area, he's most definitely probably going to get some in his mouth. Assuming that that does happen. Something that I don't know if anybody else has pointed out yet, but, I know they've already pointed out that whenever he burns bleach and shit, it doesn't do that, but, he would be dead, because he probably got bleach in his goddamn mouth, and now he's poisoned! He's dead! There! Jeff the Killer never exists! He's dead! You killed him in your own story! Bleach is very toxic, and he does not get treatment for it until he is burned and beaten and bloody. And not to mention, there's alcohol on him, in his cuts, in infecting his stuff, and then there's also bleach infecting it now, and there's bleach in his cuts, so there's definitely bleach in his bloodstream, so he's most definitely going to die! Story's over. It never happens. God, I wish I had that. I fucking wish I could just leave this story to just fucking burn in the rotting hell that it deserves to be in. Alright. Jeff wiped his eyes as best as he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. Who did? Keith? Keith let out an ominous smile? What? Also, he's bleeding to death. The kid is bleeding to death. So how does he have time to do what he's about to do? And where does he get it? Ah! What's so funny? What's so funny? Asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. What's funny? He said, is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol. Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. Isn't vodka alcohol? Alcohol in? Whatever. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin, because that's how bleach works. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out of the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. I guess you could call him the Towering Inferno. That was a terrible reference, and I'm sorry. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs, and again, he's dead. Fell down the stairs, broke his neck, he's dead. He's dead, dead, dead. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a dead man, on fire, drop to the ground, nearly dead! Nearly dead! Is Jeff fucking Superman? Or does the author really not understand human anatomy at all? I'm just wondering. Alright. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the flames. Because they never ever got involved at any point whenever Jeff was beating the shit out of the other kids. Because story. No, you know what? I hate everything has a thing where whenever something just doesn't make any fucking sense, he says because movie. So you know what this is gonna be? This is gonna be a because creepypasta. Because all these fucking stories that are shit have these fucking cliches. So this one is because creepypasta. That's why. Alright. That's when he passed out. When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt the cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm, and when he tried to get up, it fell out, and a nurse rushed in. "Oh, I don't think you can get out of bed just yet, hun," she said as she put him back in the bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there, with no vision, no idea what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?" she asked. Jeff couldn't answer, though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. "Oh, honey, I have great news! After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed of trying to attack you, they decided to let Lou go." Hold on 1 second. Let's just think about this. Jeff killed 3 kids. At least 2 of them are for sure dead. One was bleeding to death, the other was dead. When did he confess? Their conversation went, "I beat the crap out of you. You got my brother sent to JDC." He says, "I don't go for winning. Or I don't go for even, I go for winning." When did he confess right there? Ever? He never did? Now, if anything, the police would say, "Oh, you killed him? Oh, okay. You're going to prison for the rest of your life, and your brother can come out now." Are we fucking in fantasy land? Do we know what logic is? Are we using human logic anymore to write these stories? Or are we just going off of whatever the fuck it is? Fear, loathing, and Las Vegas rules, which is there fountain rules, which means there's no fucking rules. Fucking hate this story. This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. "He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be together again. You secret lovers." Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it. What he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed. "Let's hope for the best," said the doctor. Let's hope for the best! Hopefully you don't look like a deformed maniac, kid, but I can't guarantee anything to you. I'm just your fucking doctor! I'm only here to reassure you. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Lou and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at him. You are the master of subtlety. Jeff, said Lou, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Your face is burned off. But it's not that bad. Not that bad, said Jeff. It's perfect. His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching. Jeff, are you okay? Okay? I've never felt more happy! Ha 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 ha! Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me. I'm more emo than anyone else. I'm so edgy. He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when... I thought he was asking that. No, that's just the story asking what caused this. Because we don't know. We just had this happen. We just had this happen. We just had this happen. Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. And he would go on to be the biggest meme in the world ever. No. Until Doge. He'd be the biggest meme in CreepyPasta ever. That is, his parents didn't know. Well, I don't think that's something that my parents would, exactly know. But I might actually think that they would know that. If, I started acting strange after something like that. And, I acted, like I was about to start, murdering everybody. Might maybe raise a few alarms. I don't know, just brainstorm, man. Anybody remember that show? Brainstorm? Doctor, said Jeff's mom, is my son alright, in the head? Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological test. Oh, thank you, doctor! I feel so much better now. Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff, sweetie, time to go. Jeff looks away from the mirror. His face formed in a crazy smile. "K, mommy! Ha ha ha!" His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. This is what came in. This is what came in, said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and stitched together. Oh, that's nice. Because the hospital stitches clothes back together for their patients. I actually think, you know, maybe that's just stretching it just a little bit. But you know what? All things considered, I'm pretty sure that everything in the story is taking place in the mind of a mental patient. Because none of this shit is realistic at all. Alright. Later that night, Jeff's mom woke to a sound. Oh wait, I missed the most important thing. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life. Bum bum bum! That was totally necessary. Don't even say that it wasn't. Okay. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. It was Jake Paul. That would be pretty horrendous. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks. Jeff, what are you doing? Oh wait. Jeff, what are you doing? Asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother. I couldn't... Okay, hold on. This reminds me of like from Family Guy on Seahorse Seashell Party when Brian's tripping and he like cuts his ear off. He's like, I'm gonna cut my ear off to prevent World War II. Cuts it off, hands it to Stewie. One of my favorite scenes. It just comes out of bad shit nowhere. He's like, I'm gonna cut my ear off to prevent World War II. So this reminds me of that every time. I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever. Jeff's mother noticed his eyes ringed in black. Jeff, your eyes! All the better to see you with, my dear. His eyes were seemingly never closing. I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself. My new face. Alright, again, burned out his eyelids, can't sleep. He will die! You have to sleep. It is a human bodily function that you cannot get away from doing. If you do not sleep for a long enough time, you will die. You will drop dead from exhaustion. What the fuck? Nobody's putting this out? How does nobody fucking see this? How does nobody know how the human body works? And they're so fucking stupid. It's almost been a fucking hour. I just can't. Oh god. It's almost over. It's almost fucking over. Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane? Bitch! Bitch! Get the fuck out of here! Get your shit out! Ain't nobody got time for this shit! Did you just say, is going? He burned out his eyelids and cut a smile into his goddamn face! Run the fuck away! How about that? How about you run the fuck away? Like any, normal person would do? Is that too much for you to comprehend? Are you... What the fuck are you smoking? Give me some, and you get the fuck out of my life! Oh! Oh my god. What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful? Yes, son, she said. Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your face. She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. Honey, get the gun! Honey, get the gun! We got it again! We gotta kill another one! She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. Mommy, you lied! That's the last thing they hear. Okay, hold on a second. That's the last thing they hear. Okay, as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them. They're supposed to be dead right there. Right? Right? They're dead. Alright. Good. Good. Maybe by the end of it, all of them will be dead. And this story will just die. But we know that's not gonna happen. Why can't they just kill him? Oh god. His brother Lou woke up, startled by some noise. His parents were just gutted. You can't gut both of them without one of them screaming very loudly. You know, in the reboot, they change it so that he's wearing headphones. He doesn't hear the screaming. It makes a little bit more sense in the case when you at least explain some of this shit. This is the original. It gives no reason for why he doesn't hear them screaming. They're just just throw your hands up and say, why the fuck not? Why not, you know? So he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep, and as he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Lou. Lou thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Shh, Jeff said, go to sleep! Fuck you! Ah! I'm the... When you have a story like so, so much material is given to me. It's gift wrapped badly. It's like a piece of shit wrapped in more shit and then packaged to me in an even bigger piece of shit. Like a box of shit. So, this beautiful, beautiful creation is one all of you already know. I've been wanting to do this just because I hate it and it's awful. But it did come up to me, and it is the one that started my channel. And, you know, I wanted to do something like this, and I mean, honestly, this was just gift wrapped. There's not really a better funny one that I could find, I don't think. This is like the king of the bad creepypasta, in my mind. This is like one of the worst. Nina the Killer and all those came after. Those were born because of this story, and because of how bad it is, I'm sure. I'm sure that those stories were written to be bad. This one, I don't know. I think this one, they were trying to do something, and then they just completely fucked it up. So, that being said, we're gonna go down our little checklist here. Which, you know, it's not gonna do a whole lot. Yeah, it's title's relevant. It's not unique at all. At least it used capitalization. It's not scary. It's not original. It's not really complete. The spelling is correct, I guess. Grammar's not. Punctuation's not. I mean, well, no, grammar is, but punctuation isn't. Formatting isn't. What the fuck did they tag this as, even? How is this a mindfuck? They tagged this as mindfuck and sleeping. No. No, it is not. And it's absolutely a duplicate. So, you know, of course we're gonna reject it. Of course. This has been a very long video, and I apologize for that. Hopefully, it makes you laugh. Hopefully, I made your day. But if I didn't, and you just hate me, then you can leave that in the comments too. But I don't take that shit! Actually, I do. I can act like I don't really care. But the truth is that every comment that you send me, every comment is super special, and it's just the most important thing in my life. And if you don't like and comment and subscribe, then I'm gonna shoot myself in the vagina. Again, I've watched too much Pyrocynical and too much Leafy and too much other shit from the internet today to really be doing this. So that's why I felt like it would be the perfect day to do this cancerous ass story. Because it's just like, it's the worst in my opinion. And hopefully you'll all enjoy this. I really enjoyed ripping into this piece of shit. And hopefully you'll enjoy me rambling for a good hour and a half. Maybe it kills a lot of your day, maybe it doesn't, and maybe you just want to kill me afterward, and that's all just great. So, I'm gonna go now. I have a lot of shit to get done for a week of stuff, and I'll be back on the 3rd. And on the 3rd, I'm gonna start working on recording the last 2 stories for the Halloween countdown. And then when I get back 2 weeks after that, I will do the Halloween countdown itself. I've already got all the stories recorded and ready, so, you know, come back for the Halloween countdown. That's going to be the next big thing on the channel. I'm going to try and get Madness in Wonderland started up again. Got to get that sent out and everything, but I might be put on hold for Halloween and Christmas. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'll have to figure all that shit out. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave now. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video, and goodbye.